Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, I actually don't have much updates today. In fact, when I was starting this call, and I was here a minute beforehand, and in fact, I never just started early. I like being prompted exactly 10 o'clock, so everyone has the same expectation, so we all know where we are. But during the minute that I'm sitting here waiting, I'm like, what are my updates? Hey, Andrew, hey, Frida, what updates do we have? So we're new all-time high in liquidity. We finally eclipsed back, so we're at like 100 and almost 22,000, which is really cool, especially since last week we had some sizable selling, but that was expected selling, right? These individuals told us ahead of time, and that's fine. But it was like $2,000-3,000 in selling, which again, that's a market. That's fine. We want that. If you want to sell, go for it. Our value is not in any one person's holding on to the coin, holding on to Rhino. The value of Rhino is the fact that everyone knows that no matter what, it's liquid to them. So to have a long-term value, that you need to trust the market. So when people sell, although short-sightedly, it's like, oh, darn, I mean, can't believe they sold. But in the big picture, imagine if no one sold. Would anyone have trust that you could? Now, granted, you would assume you could, you would believe you could, but did you ever see it? Are you certain you know what would happen? And I don't think that's the case. So for us to solve that, you do need to have actual people selling. And the value of that is every time you see a sale, boop, back to new all-time highs. So we're actually at 247 on the coin. Now the all-time high for the coin, for Rhino, is actually 253. So if you remember back in February where we went ahead and fortified the market, we brought it from 253 to 2. And again, we did that by putting supply on it. It wasn't like we just took something out of it. We added stuff. And it's been a fight ever since. Now, granted, at that time, the value of Rhino was 65,000. Now it's 122,000. So have we made it back? Yeah, times a bazillion. And in fact, we've doubled since then. So imagine if we never put any money into Rhino itself, like to grow the value of it, but simply just bought, Rhino today would be 505, 506. And that's if every dollar that came in was to buy Rhino from where we left off. So things are good. We are not at an all-time high in members because, like I said, we had to go ahead and get rid of Rhino email, which, by the way, I want to say something. So I've been getting emails from individuals that were in Rhino email. They're like, hey, Ant, I thought we got rid of it. Why am I still being charged? In which case, I've been refunding every one of those emails that come in. I believe there's still some more that I need to refund, and I'll find the time to proactively do the rest. With Kartra, forgive me for thinking that this would make sense, but in deleting a product, and it says if you delete this product, there's no bringing it back, that I also believe that if you did not have a product to charge someone for, that they no longer would be charged, right? So in the subscription agreement, it's I, Anthony, am committing to $10 a week for Rhino Email Platinum from Rhino. Okay, that's the equation. When you take Rhino Platinum out of it, and now there's no product, Kartra still says, I, Anthony, am paying $10 for blank. So that's my mistake. Everything will always start and end with me in terms of mistakes. Yeah, see, Andrew, I'm going to refund them today. So to those that are being charged, my apologies. I thought deleting it would be okay, but there's always something more. Nothing's ever that easy, right? So I will be getting on that today. And also, so that's Rhino email. Oh, and then secondly, again, forgive me for being so crazy, but Rhino Welt, we moved to a 14-day free trial. Very cool. Well, all the individuals that were in before it became a 14-day free trial, God forbid that they would be grandfathered into it. No, in fact, they're still on the 7-day and everyone after that's on the 14-day. So I've received a couple of emails saying, hey, Ant, I thought we did 14-day. Why am I being charged? Hey, Rick. In which case, my apologies. I really believed by pressing it and moving it from 7 to 14, it would make sense. But along the lines of like, you don't know what you don't know, that's one of them. Rhino bot. Oh, stop me when you've heard this. Oh my God, so my weekend was like a lot of bad stuff apparently. So some of us have had difficulty pressing the buttons on the pages that Rhino's been sending out on our mobiles. Now on your desktop, all of the buttons work fine. And when I'm writing an email, I'm using my desktop. So when I write the email and I test the pages test fine. Then when I send the email out, I don't necessarily every single day go into our own emails and play around with it. But I did receive an email back from one or two people saying, hey, Ant, these buttons aren't working. So then I checked my email and my buttons weren't working either. In which case we did a live 3 days ago, in which case I asked everyone, can you just check your email, see if the button's working? Some of the buttons work for some of the people. And I think it comes down to what operating system you have. So what I've learned is Apple iOS, the buttons were not working, but Android, they were. Now, of course, these are things you would never know until you know, right? Like you don't know what you don't know. You have to have this happen so you can learn. So I got in touch with Kartra and I was like, hey guys, what are you doing over there? And they said, oh, you put customized code into the page and some Kartra pages don't work with some customized code. If you want to troubleshoot it, blah, blah, blah. But if you just take the customized code off the page, it will work just fine. The customized code was Rhino bot. So you remember all of the weeks of putting Rhino bot together? Well, now apparently, if it's a page that has buttons that you would like clicked, now mind you, just the buttons in the body of the page, not the footer, but the body of the page, those buttons, which are usually like, hey, this is our video, click it, and if you want to join, click below. Then those buttons will not work. So I had to delete, and I'm sorry, it's like really warm in here. And anyone that follows along a long time knows that our leasing office is either freezing or sweating. So it's not the worst thing in the world because Rhino bot makes its own recommendations within the bot. So you don't necessarily need the page to have buttons. And in fact, when it's a page that has buttons, the focus isn't on the bot. The focus is on the page. And then if you have a question, you would find the bot and click it. So the bot would be much better off on a page that was, hey, you need speak to our bot right now, right? Like a page that just showcased just the bot. Because if the bot's that great, let it speak for itself. Why does it need to be the asparagus or the potatoes? It could be the steak. It should be the steak. So that got me thinking. That's what we need to do. That was a little anticlimactic. It got me thinking. That's what we need to do. So it is on my top of mind to create a page that is just the Rhino bot. Sorry. And upon doing so, we will then be able to create the affiliate bot of the Rhino bot, which then would be the page for you. Subsequently, the bot also has a lot of functionality past that. So it has the ability to go into your Facebook Messenger and your Slack channels and all of these other places, in which case we do need to create a tutorial on how to do it. And in fact, not only a tutorial of how to do it, I'm sorry, I'm like really sweating. Not only a tutorial of how to do it, but hey, why don't we get together once a week and we all do it together, right? Okay, Rhino bot webinar. All right, everyone have your bot ready. We're putting it on our Facebook Messenger. This is how you do it. Go ahead. And I think we can do something like that because it's not just having webinars to have webinars. I remember I used to work at the Wall Street firm and they would have meetings to have meetings. You've never seen executives so many times just in each other's office. All right, we're having a meeting. About what? Well, I go, you're having a meeting about having a meeting. That's all you're doing. So I never went to them. I was like Rudolph. The kids didn't, the other reindeers didn't want me to play because I would just make fun of them. I would say, can we get to work, guys? What are you doing? The point of the story being, we're not just having webinars to have webinars. Because the bot is exponential, once it's placed somewhere, not only does it do the work it's supposed to do there, making the sales, but it's also then inviting others to participate by becoming an affiliate bot as well. So if one bot can turn into 3 bots, can turn into 9 bots, can turn into 27 bots, all because you placed it in one place, then obviously it behooves us to make sure that we take the time to correctly place them where they need to be placed, and that they're correctly placed. So we will take the time to do that. And I want to say that's a this week project. I just don't know. Because again, we don't know. So I believe the bot is working fine. I've tested it plenty of times. It works just fine. In fact, it actually refreshes itself. So when it crashes, it then resets itself and picks up where it left off. That was super key. It's a lot of good stuff. Could there be something that completely throws us for a loop? Sure. But throwing us for a loop aside, I think we could start on affiliate bot this week. And the affiliate bot, I want to make clear, I don't believe it to be difficult. Now, of course, famous last words, but what's the difference between the regular bot and the affiliate bot? Simply the ChatGPT prompt. That's it. Everything else is built. So it's almost like swapping. So the regular bot right now is the regular bot because it will go ahead and refer you to our links. Oh, hey, you want to buy this? Here's the link. So if we take our links out and put your links in, that should be it. Now, of course, we have to build in the extra component of the affiliate bot recommending people to become affiliates, but that should be difficult. I could create that prompt, and there's going to be a link for that. I could create that prompt and put the link in it, right? And after somebody says no, offer them this, right? Now, of course, that has to be organized. So how can somebody do it, right? Well, Abdul would say, I want to be an affiliate bot. You would sign up for it. You would fill in these inputs. Those inputs will be automated to be sent over there, maybe on a Google Sheet or something. And then upon doing so, we would be able to, it'd have to all be Google Sheets. And we'd have to make them variables, or whatever. Upon you doing that, this would go there, this would go there. This is the prompt. Now put it into yours. And what we would need from you is your ChatGPT API, because it's going to be your ChatGPT. It's going to be your bot. So we need your API, but that would be in the sign out sheet. We would need your API. We build it. We take the new prompt, build it, and we say, here, there you go. It's yours. Have fun. In which case, we'd be giving it to you as code, and you would just place it places. Well, actually, not even. We can make a page for you. That doesn't sound difficult. We would just clone our page and make that page for you. So I guess effectively we would own the page. I don't think that really matters though. In fact, because we own the page, we can make it personalized. So rhinobucks.com/Abdul, rhinobucks.com/Andrew. So we can actually do all that for you and then just give it to you. And then you just, hey guys, check out this page. Actually, that sounds really cool. And it helps Rhinobucks because now we have how much traffic going to our pages. It helps you because we could do it all for you. As long as there's just, yeah, step by step. I like having these talks. You guys. All right, so that's that. Rhinobucks has had very low volume because again, PayPal was being silly with us and we bought a whole bunch yesterday and the day before. So I wanna buy some more today. I have to go get it. How much are you gonna charge for that? Denville, we will charge nothing. The affiliate bot is essentially you doing, I don't wanna say you working for us, but you would be making sales that benefit Rhino. So we would never charge you for that. In fact, we're going to be rewarding you. We're going to be paying you to do it. And all the work in between, I'm not shy to do work. I don't mind doing it. So that's that. Events are going fine. I want to get with the team today. I don't know if I'll have the time. Rhino Wealth kicks off today. Super cool. So I have a call with everyone at 11 to 11:30. I really want today's call to be a Q&A. I want the individuals, the rhinos on it to ask me questions like, hey, my account didn't get set up, like troubleshooting questions, because it is very important that everyone has the algorithm uploaded into their software so that everyone could kind of, on their own, research for themselves and collaborate with ideas for themselves and see how the sausage is made. I have no illusion that the high value of Rhino Wealth is going to be, okay, I'm following Anthony's lead. Anthony now just bought this, I'm either going to A, copy him, which I don't mean copy in derogatory. If someone's doing something good, imitation is the highest form of flattery, right? Like, that's fine. So imitate Anthony, replicate Anthony. Or I'm going to sit this one out and watch how it happens, watch the results. In which case, if the individual either participates and has a duplicate good experience because the results are good for them as well, and or the individual decides to sit out and simply just watch and see, wow, if I would have done this, I would have achieved these results. That's the high value of Rhino Wealth. All the ancillary things around it is, can you go ahead and identify your own opportunities if Anthony didn't share the opportunities he identified? That's the secret sauce. Because if the answer is yes, either A, you could identify your own opportunities, and or B, you could identify the same opportunity that we identify, but without us leading you to it. Well, now you've gone from being given a fish a day to learning how to fish. And it's at that point where now you have all the same tools I have, and we're effectively competing. We're achieving comparable results from unique starting points. And if we can go ahead and achieve that success with an alien from Mars, right? That's what we said. Our goal is that an alien from Mars could come down and do this. Then that's the goal. Like, that's really cool. That if an alien from Mars that is either home, that knows nothing about nothing, is now all of a sudden making 40, 50% profits because they were smart enough to learn how to press certain buttons, that's really cool. Like, Rhino loves that. So that journey starts today. Today's day one. So we'll be doing it at 11 o'clock. And then I don't want to say I have a day free, because all the things I just shared with you I need to do. But the days do feel free when I don't have an obligation to be somewhere at a certain time. Like, for instance, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have Rhino webinars. But now we have it automated because we did the replay, which, by the way, I think is great. And we got a lot of good feedback on it too. Unfortunately, over the weekend, because those buttons didn't work, I don't know how many people would have liked it. In fact, I don't know if anyone did, because they weren't able to press the button. And if they were able to press the button, they weren't able to then participate and join. So the results for the weekend show that we have added like pretty much no new accounts. We stink. But we now know how to solve it. Oh, and lastly, so breaking news, right? Actually, this is kind of big news. So Salesforce, we are thinking about migrating away from. The reason being, although we have such great relationships with them, I just think they're so complicated. Like, for instance, last week, or maybe 3 weeks ago, and some of you will remember this because it actually directly affected some of you. And you know, when something affects someone, I want to immediately solve it, but they weren't letting me. So here's the story. So about 3 weeks ago, we did an upload into Salesforce. At the same time, Salesforce was doing some maintenance on our account. Okay, great. Now, all of the Rhinos that have a balance of Rhino bucks have it in their Salesforce account, in which case it shows up on your email. In lieu of that, any new person that joins Rhino, automatically we reward them with a balance of 100, which is very different than those that have 10,000 and those that have a lot more. Which means when that field is not filled in, by default it says 100, because that's commensurate with somebody new that's joining. That field would not be filled in. Well, that upload and the maintenance together caused a couple of accounts to have that field erased, which meant I had, I don't know, maybe 10 Rhinos email me, hey, Ant, what happened? Actually, one was like, what did I do wrong? And I was like, no, I would never take anything away from anyone. But those balances read 100. And I said, well, this is what happened. Just I should be able to solve it by today. I told Salesforce already, and they're working on it. And why I couldn't solve it in the moment is because Salesforce got the authenticator on they have all these clouds. You know how Rhino has Rhino Wealth, Rhino this, Rhino that, Rhino that. They have Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, something cloud, something cloud, something cloud. So we have the authenticator because it's always been on just Sales Cloud. They then extended it to Marketing Cloud. Fine. The authenticator didn't recognize us, even though it was the same email address and all the rest. So we had to get Salesforce to go ahead and renew or refresh or reconnect or whatever that authenticator app. Do you know how obnoxious that was just saying? It sounded like, what did I really say? I just spent 5 minutes just trying to describe something because this is how complicated it was. It took them 1 week to get us to the right person, in which case that person took less than 5 minutes. Oh, hey, yeah, okay. Click this link, it'll ask you to re-sign up, you're good. Okay. I felt so vulnerable for a whole week that our rhinos are emailing me and I can't do anything about it. That I'm sitting there practically begging Salesforce, come on, I need this, I need this, I need this. Texting our account reps and all the rest. And everything in Salesforce was so complicated. I was just like, you know what? This is not okay. This is not okay. So I emailed them after it was all resolved. I go, guys, it took less than 5 minutes for that gentleman to help us. I go, I'm so disappointed with all of you. I go, I by no means will play accomplice and support continuing being a client of yours unless you go ahead and make this right. I lost the whole week, and our Salesforce is like $10,000 a quarter. So when you scale it back to a week, it's like $800, right? I go, I lost the whole week. I lost this, I lost this, I lost this. I am not telling you I want money because I'm just like, I feel like I'm in the right place, right time. Oh yeah, give me money, give me something for free. No, I am not okay with knowing that you so freely do run business like this. And the only way I can ensure, or at least feel that I was a component of change or a component of good, is that I can't allow you to not pay for this because I want you to think twice before you do it again, right? It's like it's like the girl that dates the man who's domestic violence, like he abuses her, and she just leaves. Well, does she have an obligation to report him? Well, she might feel like she doesn't. She might feel like, hey, I just got out of the situation for me and my kids. But really what you did was, and I want to be careful with the words I'm using because this is a very high, and maybe someone's part of it. So I don't, but by just exiting the situation yourself, you left him, that person, free to do it to the next person. Now that's not blaming you. Like, let's get that straight. But it's kind of like the Rihanna with Chris Brown thing. Chris Brown really did a number on her. He was a really bad person. And what she did was she just disappeared and then came back and said they're working things out. And I always felt really yucky about that because she had the platform to say that this is really bad and anyone that supports Chris Brown, this is effectively what you're supporting. And that always stuck with me. Like, I won't even listen to Chris Brown songs, and I'm only one person, but it's morally, that's what it means to me. So I said to Salesforce, oh, no, so the certifications are part of Trailhead. This is completely unrelated. Rick's like, oh my God, don't do it. So I said to them, I go, I need you guys to make this right. I need to feel like this cost you something, because I need that. And they never returned that email. It's been a week and they haven't returned that email. So what I've done in the meantime is I've exported all of our contacts from Salesforce that are the super high level ones. What I mean by that are obviously anyone with a Rhino Bucks balance, right? Like, we're all there. Anyone with a balance of 10,000 or more. So these are all of our super dupers. But also, sorry, Robert. Bye. I know I'm a little bit long today. My apologies. But also anyone that had opened up 15 emails over the previous 30 days. So that's like 50% of the emails because we send out one every day. So when you take all of those people together, those are like, I'm Rhino. And I moved them over to Kartra. Kartra already approved it. They're already there. So there is a chance starting maybe next week that we might just migrate completely from Salesforce and just stick with. I like Kartra a lot. So yeah, but that's a Salesforce thing. If they want to be so short-sighted, we're Rhino. I don't get pushed around. Like that doesn't happen. And I'm not being childish either. I'm looking out for the next person. It's just, that's Rhino. So I think that's everything. I don't want to be too much longer, but yeah, everything's good. I don't have a bad thing to say. I haven't updated the ledger yet. I haven't even looked at my emails yet today, so I have a lot to do. I'm hoping, you know what, after this call, I'll do the emails, I'll then jump to the ledger, and then I have Rhino Welt, and then I have a couple hours to catch up on everything. So, love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.